Hi friends, welcome to this very special pick-a-card tarot reading from JUNODROME Intuitive Arts. My name is Juno. Today we're going to be taking a look at peaceful messages of peace. I know that the world is quite hectic at the moment and things are feeling overwhelming and more than we can gather, at least for me personally. So depending on how you're feeling, I would assume that you may be feeling quite similar. And if that is the case, today we're going to bring in the peace. I'm going to be asking my guides and spirits and angels and those that we call upon for help and assistance to come and bring us peaceful messages today. Important, peaceful messages for the moment. We have 3 different piles to choose from today. Pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Take a moment to take a look at these and see which pile is calling out to you. Which pile of peace do you need to hear right now? Down below in the description section of this video, you can find a link to where in the reading your pile is. From there, you can take a look and gain more information. So, as we move on here, I'm going to give you a little bit of time to do an extra card selection. After that, you can find a link to your reading in the description section. Hello, pile number 1. You have joined me for the card selection moment. So we're going to pick your cards now. If you don't want to watch the card selection, you certainly do not have to. You can go ahead into the future and see where the reading starts. But if you wanted to join me for the card selection, that's what's happening now. I don't always show this to people, but I've decided in this to try things a little bit differently. To do these long-form readings really as a truly slow-moving, long-form process that anyone can watch to gain a better understanding on how I do things as we move forward. I'm trying to bring in a sense of calm and a sense of peace into these pick-a-card readings because I've noticed that the readings have felt quite a bit frenetic for me in a way that I am not a fan of. And because of that, I want to give us a better understanding of peace for all of us moving forward, because I think that that would give us more of a sense of necessary calm, right? That these messages need to be something for all of us, more than simply me chasing an algorithm, but giving you something of value, something of interest. So we're going to take it that way. And hope for the best because of that. Also, these will no longer be edited videos, so all of the pauses, all of the ums will be a part of this, and I know that that might be a little too much for some people, and so if that's too much for you, I apologize, but that's where we're going to go today. and I hope that you're going to be with me on this journey. Please feel free to let me know in the comment section what you think about this. Does this resonate with you? Does this idea seem like something that you're interested in? Please do let me know. I would love to hear your feedback. I'm interested in feedback from everyone. So here we go, pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. We're going to find messages of peace for you today in this moment. How can we bring more peace, more calm, more understanding and serenity to you in this moment? What can we do for that? Well, first things first, you chose this beautiful moon card, and look at that friendly moon face, right? This reminds me of the peaceful nighttime energy. The nighttime energy, it comes in many forms. Sometimes we can be afraid of the dark, and we can be afraid of the evening and the night. But sometimes we have a peaceful, calm, sleep, serenity energy that's being depicted on the moon here. And that light, gentle, calm moonlight is what's coming in to give you a sense of peace in this moment for you. It says, close your eyes. And I think that you are being encouraged to take some sleep as well in this moment. Take a sleepy moment for you. We'll tuck him right up there for now. So take some time and some peace to yourself. I think that that is a big moment and motion for us in this moment of what we can do to help bring some peace into our lives. What do the angels, the spirits, the guides, those helping us through this lifetime, what do they need to tell you right now for messages of peace? Well, the biggest thing here is a new beginning. So in this moment, right here, right now, this is a time of new beginnings. This is a time of peace and calm and possibility for you. You're being encouraged to remember that every moment offers a new journey and a new time. With duality, it's important to remember that there are ups and downs in life. There is yin and there is yang. There is a balance of both. And it may not seem like it sometimes, but the more that we push in one direction, the more that we get pushed back in the opposite direction. And there is no full, even if we go to the furthest extent of one direction, maybe a direction we don't want to go, there's only so far we can go in that direction before things move in a different direction. And that change is an inevitable part of this reality, that there is a balance of forces. And if we are out of balance, we will be moved into balance. And that's something to keep in mind. New beginnings are here to show you that with every moment, there is an opportunity of change and movement and growth, and that it is up to you to figure out what that is for you and your life. And so if you are at a moment where you're feeling unbalanced, just know that there is opportunity for movement here regardless, and that things will not always be in this place, even if it feels like they will. And that's really important to remember, that there's a new opportunity for you in your own personal life in this moment, and that this is the right time for it as well. With the divine timing, this is the time. We are in the moment. And so you are being encouraged to tune into that energy and bring that into this present moment for yourself. Bring in this idea that now it is possible to move in the directions you choose for yourself. It is time. It is within that time. Divine timing can also talk about the need to take your time at something as well. And that if something is not working in the way that you want, it may be that now is simply not the right time. And that's something to keep in mind as well. With that New Beginnings card, though, this is encouraging you to incorporate the idea that all things can move for you in whatever moment you are in. And so there's an importance in keeping that in mind here. Let's take a look at some of the tarot here. This first comes from the Swiss deck here. And wow, there's a lot of royal cards here, so that's important. To have this many royal cards together, it is showing this moment with the divine timing, especially this moment is one where you are in a heightened state of possibility, actually. And that heightened state of possibility is something to really keep in mind. The Empress card is showing a pregnant person, right? She's pregnant in her birthing something new into the world. And with that birth, this is an opportunity to create something new for yourself and for the world. And so you might be in a very creative moment as well. This might be a moment of really allowing in possibilities, of allowing in your own sense of creation and your own sense of real connectivity in the world. And so there's something to be said about that. So there's something to be said about bringing in something new into this world. With this new beginning, it's like this is your moment. This is your time to shine. Like real creative energy. The King of Cups, he is really about connecting into your own sense of compassion and sharing compassion with others, that you are a deeply kind and compassionate person, and that's something you can lead with here in this moment as well. You know, the Queen of Wands, she's a master manifester. She makes anything happen. So this is the time for you to bring in manifestations. I saw 111 on the clock here. So this is a moment for you to really bring in your own manifestations into this world. This is about creativity. This is about birthing a project into the world and making it happen, and being compassionate enough within your own self to yourself, being compassionate enough to yourself to give yourself the gifts of creation and of possibility, proving to yourself that you can make things happen, that you can do it, that you can make it happen. With the Page of Pentacles, this is about movement in the physical world. This is about amassing wealth even, you know, this is about creating something that can bring you abundance and open up abundance into your life, whatever that means to you. Abundance isn't always about money, though sometimes it most certainly is about money. So this is about creating something that's deeply abundant and sharing that wisdom and compassion with the world in a way that's really powerful and brings in the possibilities, not just for yourself, but for all people. So there's an importance in that as well, I think, in realizing that you do have the power to create things that are more than just for you. And I think that's an important thing too, that this is like for the world, that you have the ability to create something powerful for the whole world. And you're being encouraged to really do that, to take the time. If it's too hard for you to just do it for yourself, then do it for everyone else too, because you're here to create something deeply important for all people. And you really are being encouraged to take the time to make it happen. That this is the moment for you to really start to bring it into reality. This is the moment for you to really start to bring it into existence and to share that with everyone. That this is a powerful moment for that. And you're being encouraged to really incorporate that energy into your life here. We've got the King of Wands, we've got the Five of Swords, and we have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm not surprised with the Eight of Pentacles at all, because that is about putting in deep, hard work in certain areas, and you really are being encouraged to do that in this moment. And I think that that's something that's really important for you to keep in mind here. With that with that Eight of Pentacles, it's about continuous work in a certain place. And you know, sometimes that work feels thankless. It feels as though it's leading us nowhere and that we're not getting to where we want to go and that things aren't working out and blah, 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 right? But in reality, though, you have to keep doing it. You have to keep doing the work because it is leading you somewhere. That divine timing is showing you that this is the right time. Keep going. Keep making things happen because you are going somewhere. You are bringing things into this world, and this is a powerful moment for you to do that. The Five of Swords is encouraging you to not listen to those who would hold you back, that there may be naysayers in your life and there may be people around you who just don't see the vision the way that you do. So hold the vision that you have in your heart and in your mind, because you know where you're going and you don't necessarily have to. Interesting. I'm looking at the close your eyes message, and I think it's a little bit of like, close your eyes to those who would not see what you see, right? And that there may be some other people have their eyes closed and they're not able to see what you can see. They're not able to know what you know about how you can make things happen and what you can bring things in. So don't listen to those people. Be steadfast in your own understanding of what's happening. And maybe that means not sharing everything with everyone else too. Maybe there are certain people who, if you were to share what you're working on with, they just wouldn't understand. And they don't necessarily need to understand. And maybe it's not up to them. Maybe they aren't the ones to be able to understand that. And so this is a moment for you to kind of incorporate your own understanding too, that you can make things happen on your own, and you don't have to let somebody else's thoughts and opinions and ideas hold you to wherever you're at, that you can create something for your own self in a way that's powerful, that isn't necessarily what somebody else thinks, right? It's what you think and what you know. With that King of Wands, you are really a master manifester. I've said it before with the Queen of Wands, but those two together, that's a power combination. That's a power couple right there. You might be in a power couple dynamic with somebody. That's not for everybody, but if it is for you, take it. But for everybody else, this is about understanding that you have the power and the tools and the ability to create anything for yourself. You really do. And you can make it happen. And it might not feel like it all the time. That's okay, right? It's okay that if you're not feeling like you can do it all the time, right? Just trust that those feelings will come back. And if this is a moment where you need to pause and regroup, so be it, right? So be it. If this is a moment where you need to think deeply about yourself, so be it. This card wanted to come out. This is the Death card. So this is a card of endings as well. It's a new beginning and an ending as well. And I think what it is it's an ending of those thoughts and those processes in your head that are telling you no, right? It's finally time to end the voice inside that's telling you you can't do it, because it's not true. It was never true, and it's no longer serving you, right? For a long time, maybe that was a voice that was trying to protect you, but it's not protecting you anymore. It's only holding you back. And so this is a moment of really letting that voice go and tuning into what you know you need for yourself and running with it from there. Don't let somebody else's ideas and thoughts and opinions hold you back. Instead, connect into what you know is true for yourself and move from that place. Two more tarot. You have the Nine of Cups and you have the Magician. So with the Nine of Cups, there's an importance in understanding that you can be proud of yourself. And it's one of the hardest things to do, is to share that energy of feeling proud of ourselves. That can be really, really hard to do. But I think you really should be proud of yourself. You should cherish your own accomplishments, because they're really powerful and profound and necessary. So really take the time to give yourself the joy within of understanding that you have done things, that you can do things, that you can make things happen, and don't let anybody else hold you back in that way. That this is a moment of knowing what you can accomplish and setting off and making it happen, knowing that you have the strength and the tools and the power to make things happen, and that you don't have to let somebody else hold you in any kind of way, that you can hold yourself up to a high standard, and you know it in your own heart. You don't have to listen to somebody else. The Magician, that's the most powerful manifestation card in this entire deck. You have all of the tools at your disposal right now. You don't need to buy anything else. You don't need to do anything else. You don't need any other space. You don't need any other equipment. You don't need to move anywhere. Where you are right here, right now, everything that's surrounding you, you have the capability, you have the tools necessary, you can make it happen. So understand that you can make this happen. Last card. This is the Autumn Fae. It says, go slowly and listen closely for the words of the tree spirits. So I think you are being encouraged as well to take this one step at a time, and to understand that it can be taken one step at a time, right? That you don't have to do everything at once. This isn't about making things happen tomorrow. That Eight of Pentacles means slow and steady, hard work. So keep doing it. Keep putting in the work. You might not see the full results tomorrow, but with that divine timing, things will come in as they need, when they need. But now is the moment to put things into motion, and you are being encouraged to do that. So anyway, pile number one, that was my message of peace for you. It kind of turned into this much more like creative pep talk. So if that's where you're at, I hope that it resonates. Let me know in the comments what you think. Either way, I love hearing from everybody. If you're new, please do subscribe. Those subscriptions really do help us out. And that's it from me. If you would like a private reading, they are available on my website. You can find information at www.junodrome.com. I would be happy to give you one. Thank you so much for tuning in, Pile 1. We're going to move on. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to the card selection moment. I've never done this in this way before, but I'm pulling back the curtain a little bit and letting you see how I select cards, how my shuffling works, because I know that some people actually really do enjoy seeing that. And this also gives me a quick little moment to open up the floor to any kind of discussions, to give you some heads up on what's going on with the channel, and give you an opportunity, interesting, to be with us in this moment, right? So I think something I want to talk about a little bit here is why I'm doing things differently today, and I'd like your feedback as well. So if you have any ideas on this and you enjoy this, do let me know. I'm doing things in this way because I've noticed from the channel that I am not happy with the output that I have been doing. I've been heavily editing these long form videos, but I don't actually like how they've turned out. I went and watched some of the videos without any of the sound, just to gain a better picture on what energy I'm putting into the world. And let me tell you, I am not happy with the energy that's coming into these readings. They feel very frenetic, they feel very chaotic, and they don't feel comfortable at all. And so I would like to edit these a little bit, edit my process a little bit, to create something that gives real value and wisdom to people, because that is the whole point of this thing. And if I can't achieve that, then I don't understand why I'm even doing this. I realize that I've been creating content that is just to chase views, and I don't even think I'm doing that all that successfully. So I think in the long run, I think I would like these long form videos to maybe be a little bit slower, to be unedited, although I think the yes or no's may continue to be edited in a fast motion, at least to start. But the rest of these long form videos, I think I'd like to create a little bit more slowness, a little bit more thoughtfulness, and to create something that when you watch it, you'll feel calm and not feel chaotic, because the world is far too chaotic as it is, and you don't need me to be giving you more chaos, right? I want you to come to JUNODROME Intuitive Arts from a place of calm, because that is where I want to be as well. So thank you so much for listening to my spiel. We're going to get into this now. I appreciate your time. Thank you. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. We're going to get into what messages of peace do the guides, the spirits, the angels, the universe want to share with us today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you caught the card selection moment, that's great. If you didn't want to watch that, that's fine too. So you chose the card here with this beautiful telescope, and it says on the back, use a telescope. Okay, so this could indicate maybe looking a little bit closer. We have some stargazing happening here too. It's very beautiful. So maybe let's just take a moment together to look at these beautiful galaxies, this wonderful telescope. The art in this deck is gorgeous. This is from Katie Daisy, the How to Be the Wildflower deck. So maybe this is a great moment for you to look a little bit closer on the inside or on the outside, although I know the outside world is a little bit hectic right now in a way that maybe does not warrant a closer look. But this may be an excellent time to take a look within, to guide yourself on the inner journey and understand who you are and what you want. And if you don't know those answers to that, maybe now is an excellent moment to start asking the right questions. What is it that I want? Who am I in this moment? Have I changed? Why have I changed? What's happening to me in this lifetime where I am feeling like now is the time for me to understand myself in a different way? So let's figure this out together. Interesting. Divine timing. Pile number 1 got divine timing as well. So there may be a little bit of bleed between the readings. There always is. So if you felt called to pile number 1, you may want to watch that one too, but not necessarily. All right, so you have divine timing, stripping illusions, aren't we all right now? And burden. So interesting. You may be feeling the weight of the world right now, honestly, and it's really hard to avoid in this moment. Very, very hard. And I don't think there's an importance right off the bat of not taking it too personally here. And that's important, of not allowing other people's thoughts, opinions, ideas, understandings to burden you. If you are feeling like the internet is too much, then I encourage you to disconnect, to go out into nature, to come back into yourself. Take the time for that. Stripping illusions, I think it's about being really careful about the words that you listen to, and to understand that there is a slant on everything now, including me. I'll put it out to myself. I try to be very open-minded about things, but obviously I'm coming to you from a very particular perspective on life and on reality. And I think it's important to question not just me, but to question everything, and to take the time to do that. With the burden card, there are people who want to put you down out there, right? And it's so easy for us to put ourselves down, and we do that all the time. And so there's nothing more that someone else may want, right? And the world out there at large than to make you fall into your own personal cycles of putting yourself down. And that's kind of what this burden card can talk about sometimes. It talks about getting stuck in this cycle of thinking that everything is bad, and then continuing to catastrophize our own selves and our own lives based on situations that are out of our control. And so it's important to remember, what is in your control, what is out of your control. And if something is out of your own personal control, then the more that you can minimize it in your own day-to-day structures, the better, right? The more that you can not focus on that, the more that you can come back to yourself, the more that you can come back into your own sense of calm, of your own life, of understanding where you are as a person and not where somebody else is, the more that you can put the time and the energy into coming back home to yourself in that way, the more that you'll be feeling much better about life in general in the long run. And so there's an importance in taking the time to do that. With divine timing, it's also important to remember that there is a cycle and there is a time for everything in life. And where you are right now may be where you need to be. Even if you're unhappy about the place that you're at in life, there may be a necessity in it. There might be important information in it. And if that's the case, then maybe this is a perfect time to question what's going on in your life. Just like I was saying, we're scrutinizing a little bit. We're using that telescope to look inside a little bit more and really ask ourselves, am I happy here? Do I like where I'm at? And if I don't, what can I do to change it? You have open possibility ahead of you. This is great. I love this card. It never comes out. I forget about it a lot because I don't use this particular deck. But, that blank card, it's primordial, right? It's a blank card. It's not even part of this deck. It's just an extra card. It's just an extra card that's printed and comes along with the deck, and it really does indicate the idea and the perspective that all things are possible, that you have access to the primordial soup of reality that everyone else has access to, that you have connection to the great realities existing outside, and that you can connect to those realities anytime, any place, and it doesn't matter, right? You can connect to the joys and the possibilities of reality at any moment, even in the moments that are hard, especially in the moments that are hard. And now is the time to do that. The Three of Swords indicates feeling deep emotional turmoil and difficulty. It's the heartbreak card. And so it's just important to protect your own heart in this moment, because like I said before, there's nothing more that certain groups want out of all people right now than to be afraid and to be scared. So let's take some time just together here. We're gonna burn a little bit more Palo Santo here, and we're gonna help you wash away some of the fear, because there's so much fear going on. So let yourself take a deep breath with me. Let's breathe in. And let's breathe out. And let's wash away some of that fear, right? Because that fear is intense and it's going on. Wow, there was a smoke ring. Did you see that? I didn't. That was cool. I don't know if you caught that, but that's great. So we've got some powerful friends here with us as well, right? Helping us wash away some of the fear, because that fear, it's not, fear is an important thing for human beings to have. It's important for us to have fear, right? Because it's a survival mechanism and it's helped us a lot. But in this moment, we don't need to be hijacked by it, because that fear is paralysis, and that paralysis is the point. That's what we're all being forced to fall into, is that paralysis energy. And we don't have to do that. And I know this isn't just an American channel. This is about for everybody, but I think the whole world needs that message right now, that we don't need to live in fear, and we don't. We can be in ourselves, and we can come back to our own sense of calm and not let somebody else take us over in that way. And that's important. Now, with the Nine of Pentacles, this is a woman who's basking in her own private garden. She's not afraid to do that. So I do think at this moment you are being encouraged to go off on your own and to enjoy yourself and to enjoy your life, what that you have access to in your own life. Being in your own private, comfortable space of feeling love and feeling connection and feeling possibilities of your own life. Taking the time to do that. What are the things that are working in your own personal life? Take the time to understand those, to bring those in, because now is a moment for that. You have the Eight of Pentacles. This is about hard work. And you've been putting in a lot of hard work in a lot of places. And that hard work is about to pay off here. You have the divine timing, which is telling us that your hard work is leading you somewhere. So just remember that. Remember that you have the power to make things happen on your own, that you can create anything for yourself, that you can take the time to do that. And, you might need to learn how to balance your emotions in a new way. And that's, I think, a big part of what's going on. That stripping illusions might be about asking yourself and learning to see what is yours and what isn't yours. And if it's not yours, if it's coming from outside of you and it's not about you, it's coming from somebody else and being put on you by the external world, now's the time to see that and to find a way to exit it, right? Find a way to let it go and move away from it and come back into a sense of calm within your own self. And take the time to do that in this moment, because if you can, it brings you into a place and a position of being in control of your life. And that's the thing, is like, we all need to be in control at the local level, in the local space, in our own personal situation, in our own communities, coming together here and now in this moment. And so the more that you can learn emotional regulation in this moment and how to come back into calm and how to come back into yourself, the more that you can do that, the more that you give yourself the space and the ability to feel good in this moment and to feel like you have agency to move through life from a position of power and capability, instead of from a place of fear and running and hiding, right? Because that is what is being asked of us from the external, from people who don't have our best interests at heart, who don't want the best for you, right? You know what you want. You know what's best for you in this moment. And that's what's necessary to tune into right here, right now. That energy of understanding what you want and who you are. the more that you can come into a sense of understanding of that, the more that you'll be able to move through life from a place of emotional stability, so that when the challenging situations come, because of course they will continue to come, that's a part of being alive, those challenges will always happen. But if we can be in a place of emotional stability as they're coming in, we actually give ourselves the capability of actually being able to move through things in a positive and powerful way that we can then take moving forward, right? So there's an importance in doing that. And I think as soon as you do, you open yourself up to letting go of this place of feeling stuck and like you can't move, the paralysis energy, and finally being able to move forward. So I think that you're coming to terms with an understanding on how to come out of that and really connect into your own self and your own understanding. I think the most important thing you can do for yourself in this moment is to connect to your own energy and to do the things you know you need to do, right? There's an idea when you're flying on an airplane, they ask you to secure your own oxygen mask before securing anyone else. Why do they ask us to do that? Well, if you don't, you'll pass out. And then not only will you not be able to help those around you, but you'll be a burden on all of those around you because you're knocked out. So there's an importance, I think, for you to take the time to understand yourself, to strip all of the illusions away that are holding you back and come into a sense of calm and inner understanding so that you can move forward from a place of feeling good, feeling better about life, better about yourself, and that you can actually move forward from a positive plane of existence instead of feeling as though you can't move forward, you don't know what to do, things aren't working for you, right? There's an importance in really incorporating that understanding into your life right now, because the more that you can do that, the more that you'll be able to finally move forward. You are the emperor of your life here. You are in control. This is your life. This is your decisions. This is what you can do for you, right? Don't let somebody else hold the cards for you and your own self. You are holding the cards of your life. You can move forward however you need to, right? And do not let anyone ever tell you differently, because that is a lie. You have the Queen of Wands. She's a master manifester. She can create anything for herself. She can move in any direction. Whatever she wants, she makes happen. She can do it. You can do it. Three of Wands is showing that you're ready to step forward. You're ready to get out there. You're ready to put yourself in a new direction and step out into the world. So take that time, do it, move for it, because now is the moment. Now is the moment for you to start building that in. But of course, take your time with it. Divine timing is all here. Take the time that you need. You may, honestly, you may want to look at pile number one. That pile number one might be where you are next month, right? Or something like that, because they are ready to jump off. You're almost ready to jump off. You have the Queen of Wands, they had the Queen of Wands, right? So you can create anything and you can move in any direction. But I do think there needs to be some emotional regulation and emotional connection towards your own stability here that's really important as you move forward. I think as soon as you start to do that a little bit more, you'll start to free yourself in a position of really being able to move in a positive direction so that things can start to happen for you in a really good and positive way. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, lots of Queen's energy. So royal cards. That's big stuff going on. The Hermit. Yeah, I think the Hermit makes so much sense with everything else. The Three of Swords. Okay, you have that again. So two messages, right? If a card shows up twice in a reading, it really is one of the most important messages, and it's just being highlighted as a double message. So we'll get into that. And you have the Judgment card. Okay, so with the Three of Swords, that really is this emotional heartbreak energy. And I do feel like you are going through some deeply challenging emotions. But take the time and the space you need to move through it, right? The thing about emotions is if we try to block them, they don't go away. They just sit inside until we finally deal with them. So, I mean, people can be holding on to negative emotions for years and years and years without understanding that they're inside of us, because we try to ignore them. We try to push them away. We try not to focus on them because that's a defense mechanism. But the more that you do that, the more that you end up feeling lost. you end up feeling disconnected, you end up disassociating, right? All of these things. Depression, that's one way to get into some major depressive energy, is by avoiding our emotions. And so I do think you are being encouraged to take the time to feel all that you need to feel. And with the Judgment card, it's important to remember that the past is done too, you know, and that past situations you may have gone through, they don't have to be where you are anymore, that you can take the time to move through these energies, move through these emotions, connect to yourself on a deeper level so that you can move forward from a positive plane without being locked to the past situations that happened. And that maybe your own perspective now may be so different than where you were when you went through whatever difficulty you went through, that you can take that current perspective and give it as a gift to your past self to break down some of those past assumptions you might have been feeling and really connect in to your own self. So take the time to do that. The Queen of Pentacles, she's not afraid to, she's very abundant, first of all, and she's not afraid to share with others. And, you know, sometimes it can indicate oversharing. So there's an importance in making sure that you're not giving too much to other people. I think, you know, there might be a habit and a tendency to give to others first for you. And this idea of putting yourself first might be really outside of your wheelhouse. But I do think it's deeply important that you take the time to do that. So do that, you know, take the time and the energy to really break down those assumptions that you can't help yourself, right? That you have to help others, that you have to do for others first, because you really don't, right? Take the time to go off on your own. It might be afraid of doing that. Even the Hanged Man card is someone who's gone on his own to gain spiritual wisdom, even though he's stuck, right? He takes himself out so that he can understand things on a deeper level. And there really is an importance of doing that, a necessity in understanding things on that deeper level here that's being asked of you in this moment. You have two more cards. We've got the Honey Mother. Sometimes the greatest magic lies in the smallest of forms. So, you know, this is not, as much as this is big stuff that we're talking about here, you don't necessarily have to make huge steps and moves right now. You can make tiny, small steps in a better, more positive direction. So, you know, that's something to keep in mind. You also have the Witch Hare. Cross the threshold, leap the hedge, go over the wall. Yeah, you know, and there is an importance in taking those steps and moving yourself forward, right? Take the leap. Take a leap of faith. I think you're being encouraged to do that in this moment and to just trust yourself and go for it. Because you're leading yourself in a really positive direction in the long run. So just open yourself up to that energy. So pile number 2, that was a long reading, but I think it was really good, and I hope that it was helpful. Let me know in the comments what you think either way. We can have a discussion about things. If this brought up any ideas, I would love to hear from you, what ideas this brings to you. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and give this video a like if you liked it. Those likes help the algorithm out. And if you would like a private reading from me, they are available on my website, www.junodrome.com. That's it from me, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will catch you in the next reading. See you later. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to this moment of turning back the curtain. So I'm trying something new here in order to help bring a sense of calm and peace and to help share with you my own process. I'm starting to create these videos in a different way, particularly the non-yes or no long form videos. So I'm going to be doling out all of the cards here on camera so you can see how I do it. I don't really show that process to everybody very often, but I'm just giving you that. And I also think this is an excellent time for me to discuss my own views of the channel, what I think is going on, and if you ever have any ideas for me, please do let me know in the comments. I love hearing your suggestions, especially if you're a longtime listener or if you're a new listener. Letting me know what you think about things. I would love to hear your opinion. I really would. So let me know what you think. Now, I'm doing it in a new way because I took some time to review some of my recent videos over the last 6 or so months, and I am not happy at all with how things have turned out. I've started to understand and realize that I am just chasing the algorithm in a way that does not feel authentic and does not feel good. And I do not believe that I'm creating the kind of videos, the kind of readings that I personally need when I look at tarot and on the internet, and I'm not happy, right? I'm really not happy. So I'm taking the time to consciously adjust my process and to bring in a sense of peace and calm into the world, and not to continue the frenetic energy that I felt. Now, I do believe that my yes or no videos will probably continue to be punchy and quick because I think that's what's asked of those videos. But everything else that's long form on this channel, I would like to consciously create a peace and a calm. And that's my goal. So 4444 on the clock. We're going to make that happen from now on. So thank you so much for tuning in to that little card selection moment. And we're going to get into the reading now. Please do let me know in the comments what you think. If you like this new approach, I would love to hear from you about it. If you hate this approach, I would still love to hear from you about it. So tell me either way. Let's dive in. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your messages of peace. This pick a card reading is intended to bring in messages of peace and calm in what we need to hear from the guides, the angels, the spirits, those who are helping us through this lifetime, those who are dedicated to the proliferation of sentient beings through existence, through all existences. That is my intention for these readings. I set an intention before every reading because that is what is important to do. Now, you chose the pile here with this little house in the woods, and that is exactly the kind of house that I am currently sitting in right now. So let's have that peaceful, calm woods energy coming into our lives here, inviting us to understand that the world can be peaceful, even when we are existing on an earth plane of chaos and things are really really scary right now in certain ways, or challenging us. Understanding that we can always come back to a sense of calm within, that there is always available to us a sense of peace. And it says cherish solitude. And so sometimes in order to find that peace, we may need to go it alone. We may need to go off on our own. We may need to do things from a place of not as connected to others as we maybe want to be sometimes. So you may be called in this moment to do some thinking on your own, to do some solitude energy, to go off on your own, to be on your own, to do your own thing on your own. And if that's the case, that's okay, right? That's okay to be in that place. So let's see. You got the Serenity card. Yeah, so of course you do. I really do feel like that's, oh wow, unlimited possibilities and movement into balance. Okay, so pile number 3. Let's take some breaths again together. I'm gonna do a little bit more Palo Santo to help us clear the energy. I did this with pile 2 as well, and I just think we're being called to do that. So we're gonna come into our own sense of calm here together. So if you would please indulge me in taking a deep breath together as we clear the air. We call upon the spirits, the guides, those helping us to bring in a sense of inner peace, inner calm and collectiveness, inner serenity for all. Let's do that. Let's breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. You're being encouraged to come to a sense of inner peace and inner calm. And if you are not in a place with those things, then to take the time to find them. Find your serenity. What does that mean to you? What does the word serenity mean to you? This is a time to ask those questions and to come into that. You're in a moment where you are being encouraged to move into balance, movement into balance, and that is available to you in this moment. So hopefully by the end of this reading, you'll help feel a little bit more balanced. That is my intention for these readings, for sure. But even beyond just watching a YouTube video, how can you find that inner peace within you on your day-to-day level? That's important. You have unlimited possibility ahead of you. Let's look at this card closely. Unlimited possibility. That means that you can do anything. You can be in any energy. Always. You have any energy available to you always. So if something is happening in the external that is knocking you away from feeling this serenity energy, if there is ever anything that is knocking you away from this sense of peace, from this sense of inner calm, you can connect into this at any moment. Maybe save this reading to connect into this at any time. You're always welcome to come into it. There's a lot of peace coming into this reading right now. So if you need to connect into it, you are always welcome to come back here. This will always be here. So you can connect into that energy though on your own without any YouTube videos, without anybody else. This energy is always available. You can tap into it. Now, the tree gives us a little bit of an understanding on how to do that, right? Connecting into the roots of the earth might be very, very helpful for you, especially, we've got all these trees, we've got this water energy. If we look at the water melting down into the earth here, moving into balance, underground. So grounding meditation could be very helpful for you, grounding in general. Imagining your energy seeping down through your body. Let's imagine that this tree is your body right now. You've got your head up here, and you're sitting down cross-legged on the ground. Imagine the energy going down from your root chakra, down deep, deep into the earth, going down, 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 connecting in under the ground, connecting into the heart of Mother Earth, and then connecting into the Mother Earth energy and grabbing that energy and moving it back up, up through the earth, up through your body, cascading out and around you, all around you, coming back down, coming back up, right? This torus field is what they call that energy, that blossoming around you. You can connect to this peace and this calm at any moment, at any time in your life, always. Keep that in mind. So if you're feeling as though things are overwhelming, things are too much, that you don't know how to move forward, that you're feeling the chaos, you're feeling that crazy frenetic energy, you can come back to this serenity at any moment. It is always available to you. So take the time to do that. When you're feeling knocked out of balance, that means it's time to reconnect to that balancing energy. You can connect to it at any moment. Let's look at some tarot. And I don't usually read reversals, so that's why I'm flipping them around. Yeah, okay, so you got the Nine of Swords, so let's talk about that first. That's anxiety energy, and I completely understand. I completely understand because I have been feeling so much anxiety lately. I think it's very, very hard to ignore. Even if you're not normally someone who feels anxiety, the energy is all around us right now. It's all around us. And interesting that Temperance came up because I've been getting that in my own personal readings to help me deal with this energy for myself. So it makes sense it's coming up for others too. The thing about the Nine of Swords, it's mostly in the mind. It's mostly in the head here. And I think that that's kind of an important thing to keep in mind here, is that a lot of this stuff, as much as there are physical things happening all around us, a lot of the anxiety it's what lives inside. And it is up to us to cultivate a calmer inner landscape, and that we have the power to do so, that we have the power to connect into our own inner peace at any moment as well, that those are something that is available to us. Even if it doesn't feel like it, we can connect into a sense of calm and a sense of peace and a sense of understanding of the inside, that it is possible to do that, even if it doesn't feel like it sometimes. You've got the, what is it, 5, 6, 7, the 8 of Wands. So this is fast, swift moving energy. And I think it's something to remember too, is that chaotic craziness energy can feel really fast and frenetic. It's the exact kind of energy that I'm actively trying to not host on this channel anymore. It's so funny that this is coming out. If you listen to my my shuffling card shuffle, I talked about this a little bit, but basically I've noticed that the energy I've been putting into these readings, because of the way that I've been editing out all the pauses, and it just is so chaotic and stress inducing, which is the exact opposite of what these readings should be. And so I think that's a part of this message, is definitely for me too. But I do think that there's a need to slow down, and that you can slow down. And if the pace on the outside is moving too fast for you, you do not need to follow that pace. You can slow down. And it's okay to slow down. It's okay to take your time. It's okay to do what you need to do to move into balance. The Six of Pentacles can talk about balancing. It's also a give and a take. And so if you're in a moment right now where you don't feel okay, there might be somebody in your support structure who does feel okay right now that you can reach out to. And maybe you are in their support structure when you're doing okay and they're not doing okay. Maybe they reach out to you too. And so you can be in this reciprocal energy with somebody, and you can help them and they can help you, and you can be in that give and that take place. And that could really help you out through this energy as well. So reach out to your support structure right now. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like things are too much, if you just don't know how to move forward, reach out to somebody, because there's somebody out there who is ready and willing to help you and can help you with that. And finally, we have that Temperance card. Like I said, that's been coming up for me a lot in this time for this energy. And you know what it is? It's about making lemonade out of the lemons that life throws us, which is easier said than done. But clearly there's some way to take, some of this frenetic energy and to channel it into something else, to move it into something different, So if you're feeling, maybe you might be feeling inspired to do something creatively as a response to everything that's going on, or you might feel inspired to take action on a certain situation, or to incorporate activism into your life more, or something like that. So if you are feeling that kind of call to act in a new way and do something different, you're being encouraged to do that. You're being encouraged to take the time to understand yourself on a deeper level, and to move through this energy from a new place. Let it change you as much as, I think it's important to incorporate that there's change happening all around us in this moment. And even if things are challenging and difficult, you can take that difficulty and transmute it into something new, into something different that might be better in the long run than what we think is possible. So, as much as that might seem impossible, that's not something you have to do right away, but we are being encouraged to understand that there's an ability to do that, and that's big. That's big energy. You've got the Ace of Swords, so this is a new beginning moment, and it's a new beginning towards creating a new perspective for yourself. So there is a need to change your thinking about things, especially if we're going to deal with this kind of energy on a more long-term scale, and I really do think we are. There is a necessity here of prioritizing your mental health, first of all, cutting out all the things that don't need to be around, clearing out your energy. We're going to do it one more time. Let's clear out the energy of the room one more time, because I think that's important. As I continue to do this, we're going to burn some more Palo Santo and really clear that energy, because it's important, So whatever your own energy clearing practices may be in your own home, I'm encouraging you to do more of that, You don't have to burn incense or burn Palo Santo or do any of that kind of thing. Honestly, one of the best ways of spiritual cleansing is cleaning. Having a clean home just does so much. So, your spiritual cleanser may be Windex. And you know what? That's totally fine. That is a deeply spiritual cleanser that I use myself, right? So keep that in mind here. But it's a new beginning in that. So how can you clear out your energy, and how can you learn how to do things differently. You know, the Page of Swords is a student. It's actually the most student of the student energies. So, you know, how can you be a student of life here? How can you be a student of your own life? And how can you take that student energy and use it to run things forward? You know, what can you do to feel and incorporate learning something new and learning how to do things differently? Because I do think that that's what's being asked of all of us in this moment, is to take a new approach, to learn how to do things differently. The Knight of Pentacles, she's a woman who usually is basking in her own private garden. So she's taking the time on her own to do the things that she needs to do for herself, and she's not afraid to go it alone a little bit. And so, you know, if other people are bringing you down in a certain way, or if the outside world is pushing you in a way you don't like, you can take the time to do things on your own a little bit more, so that, you know, you can come back to a place of calm before really getting back out there. And I think that there's an importance in that. Safety is here for you with the Four of Pentacles. You are safe, so don't be so afraid, you know, that there's real safety here, as much as things are crazy. So tune into that safety energy, and you don't have to play it super safe either, you know. You might be holding yourself back out of fear here with that Eight of Swords, and you know what, that's okay, right? It's okay to be there. So meet yourself where you are. Let yourself feel all that you need to feel, but there might be an opportunity here to let go of some of that energy and to come back into a sense of peace and calm, because that's available to you as well. Now, the Judgment card came out for pile number one, so you may want to check out pile number one as well. It depends. But it's much different energy, but you never know. With the Judgment card, it's all about connecting into this idea that, oh, you know what? Pile number two got the Judgment card as well. I think all three piles. So, you know, there could be signs for you all over the place. Listen to whatever your heart is telling you to, but you might find some messages all over these readings. With the Judgment card, this is about tuning into your own understanding of life and reality and of things, and letting that move you in a new direction, right? It's sort of like incorporating the wisdom that you've gained from your challenges, and not looking at things from the lens of where you were before things happened to you, but using the knowledge and the wisdom that you've gained now to open up your mind of understanding where you were before, right? So that your perspective now is more wise, more open, more understanding, and it can be applied to your past in such a way that you free yourself from those past assumptions, those past things that are holding you back. Instead of thinking back, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. Instead, understanding, oh, I was in this place back then, but now I'm so much freer. So I can give that freedom to my past self and say, hey, I forgive you for everything that you did, because I know where you were coming from, and I know that actually things in the long run are quite okay. And that even if things were crazy at one point, I can open myself up to the idea that life is all right for me now. And because of that, you know, everything's okay now, right? So it's just sharing that kind of wisdom with yourself is important. All right, we got a bunch more cards, so let's see what else wants to come out here. Page of Pentacles. Okay, yep, Four of Pentacles twice, so that's probably the most important message here. We'll get into that. Page of Swords twice, too. All right, great. That's cool. Seven of Swords, not surprised. Nine of Wands. Page of Wands. Six of Wands. Okay, lots of pages. So, you know, this is a moment of learning new things. And I think that that's kind of one of the most important messages for you, is to open up to the idea that you don't know everything, and that, you know, it's easier said than done, but understanding that there's so much more in life for you to learn, and that that's okay. You know, that can be overwhelming sometimes, but ultimately it's a really positive thing. It's a really positive and wonderful thing to understand that, you know what, you are where you are, and that's okay. Life is what it is, and that's okay. And, you know, you don't know everything, that there could be a better way to live. There could be more in life than you understand. And it's just up to you to open yourself up to that idea, and to open up to the perspective that more things can happen for you, that life can happen for you, that joy can happen for you, that possibilities can happen for you, and that you don't have to be stuck in this idea of everything is terrible and nothing can happen, and I need to play it safe, because if I don't, then life is going to get me, right? No, not necessarily. Life could be so much more. Life could be so much grander. And you can learn that. You can learn how to do that. You can learn how to play by your passions and your heart. You can learn how to create a more stable life for yourself. You can learn how to think differently and to have a better perspective. And it just comes from not listening to those people who are trying to bring you down. Because you know what? Screw those people, right? There's always going to be somebody who wants to hold you back, who's jealous of you, who doesn't like what you're doing, blah, 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 blah. Always. There will always be that person. So this is about trying to open your heart to the idea that even if that's the case, that you can change, that you can move into something new, that you can open your heart to something better, that even if other people want to bring you down, you don't have to be brought down on that way. You can be open to something different. You know, the Nine of Wands is really encouraging you to do it on your own, to go out there and make your own things happen, to not be stuck in the prison of past circumstances. You know, this is the battle-hardened soldier. This is somebody who has the assumption that the other shoe is going to drop because they've been through challenges before. And yes, you have been through difficulties, but you know what? You have made it through every single one of those difficulties. You have survived every single battle that you have been a part of. And that doesn't mean that tomorrow's going to be another one. You could open up to a better, a brighter, calmer future. You can do that. It is available to you. It is possible to you. It just takes you opening your heart to that and opening up to the peace of that, because it is here, it is time, and now is the moment. So really open yourself up to that. We got 2 more cards for you. We got Lady of the Lost. Give to others, treasure life and all its magic, you know, and this is the Lady of the Lost, you know, that she herself was lost and she gained, she found herself again through giving, through the treasure of treasuring life, from understanding that there's beauty all around. And I think you're being encouraged to do that a little bit too, is that maybe you can be of service to others in some way to help you connect into that as well. And to remember that, you know, you're not the only one going through the challenges and difficulties that you're going through. And that maybe by helping somebody else through the similar situations, you can create a community together of joy and possibilities, that you don't have to go it alone. This doesn't have to be just you and yourself and your own project. This could be about everybody, you know? Your last card is Keep Going. Oh, I love that. Trust in yourself. You have all you need. Yeah, look at that. Keep going, right? Keep going. You have this shining heart of light inside of you that you can connect to at any moment. So connect in with it. Connect in with life, connect in with possibility, and keep going. Keep doing the work. Keep putting yourself out there. Keep moving forward. Don't get stuck. Don't get lost. If you get stuck, that's okay too, right? It's okay to be stuck, right? That stuck energy might be keeping you, might be teaching you something. So keep that in mind. But also, you know, keep moving forward, that you can do that. You can continue to put in the life that you need for yourself. It is available to you. The possibilities are open to you. So open yourself up to peace, open yourself up to joy, open yourself up to possibilities, because the possibilities are here for you. So anyway, pile number 3, I'm going to leave you there. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this reading and you want others like this, there's plenty more on the channel. So please subscribe if you're new. Go ahead and like this video if you like it. Those likes help the algorithm bring this to others. And go ahead and leave a comment too. Give me your ideas. Do you like this new format? This is a little bit new for me, but a lot of other readers do it in this way. And actually, I think it's way more, I feel like I'm doing something more with this than some of the other ways I've been doing readings. So I think I'm going to continue to try doing a bunch this way too, just to see what the buzz is like. So let me know what you think. And if you want a private reading from me, they are available on my website. You can find information at www.junodrome.com. I'd be happy to give you one. And that's it from me. I'll catch you later. Bye.